Let's take a look at some of those tags we were using to create our header and our paragraph. So there is a set of header tags where the number indicates the importance of the header. H1 is the header of the highest importance, and each number that it increases, the header gets smaller and smaller. So we can change those header numbers. And when we run it, it's going to reflect that change. I can create multiple headers so I can see what they look like. And you can see that as you increase the heading number, the header actually gets smaller. You want to be careful when you're using HTML because the browser tries to anticipate what you meant to do. And so if I change this H to H1 and run it, it doesn't care that I closed it with H2. It just assumed that I made a mistake and went on processing and was able to render the page with the error. If you were to look at the HTML on websites that are published and used every day, you'll see that you can find errors in the HTML because the browsers don't tell you what's going on. Okay, the next tag that I want to talk about is the paragraph tag, and that's just simply the P. And the P indicates that the text should be displayed as a paragraph. These paragraphs haven't been really long enough to show that they are a paragraph. But if we add more text, you can see it. Okay, so now it looks a bit more like a paragraph because I added some more text to it. The paragraph starts with the P tag, surrounded by angle brackets, and closes with the /P, surrounded by angle brackets. We saw that HTML elements are defined with tags, and now we're going to talk about adding attributes into those tags to describe details about the element. An attribute is usually a name-value pair that provides additional information about the element. Here's an example where we can add an ID attribute to an H1 tag. So by putting an ID equals inside the angle bracket, so it's part of the tag, we can add an attribute named ID and give it the value of swim converter header. We can add that to any tag. So I could add an ID here to my H1 tag. Now notice that the color coding in Atom helps you out by making those attributes blue, and the attribute value is in quotation marks, and so that is in green. It can be in single quotation marks or in double quotation marks. It doesn't matter. If I save that and refresh it, because it's simply information about the header, it doesn't change how the page looks. It just gives us an ID so that we can have a unique name for this particular element